भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. So today we are starting on shloka number 20 of chapter number 7. Any questions you want me to? Any questions? So in the last few shlokas, just to give a continuity, he says that there are 4 types of bhaktas who could be there. Those who are distressed, arth, jigyasu, those who are seekers, artharthi, who are seeking for some wealth, prosperity, fame, whatever. And finally the jnani. And then he goes on to say how the jnani is his own atma, and therefore he loves all the jnanis as Vasudeva. And similarly he says that for the jnani, I am the person who is there in his heart. So the jnani is also loving him. Then he goes on to explain a bit about uh, how over a period of time the uh, the sanskaras of the one who has become jnani become purified, and then he becomes absolutely the same as the Brahma himself, Vasudeva himself. So now the question which is there, that why people don't understand me so, and that's where he is taking us into the shloka number 20. Before saying as to what these 4 type of bhaktas do, he had explained as to how he is in every various aspects of things, right? You recall or you don't recall? जल में रस, प्रकाश चंद्रमा में, इस प्रकार से. और फिर उन्होंने कहा कि बलवानों में बल भी, और जो सुगंध है, जो अच्छी चीज़ है, उसमें मैं वासुदेव हूँ. ठीक है. इस प्रकार से जो नहीं समझ पाते हैं, जो भक्त, जो ज्ञानी नहीं बन पाते, उनके लिए उन्होंने कहा कि मैं क्या करता हूँ देखते हैं. ठीक है. So in shloka number 20, we can read that in English.
The reason why people do not understand that this entire existence is in the form of Atma Vasudeva alone is because they are deprived of the ability to discriminate by various cravings for progeny, cattle, heaven, etc. indulgences.
Yeah, just hold there for a second. So each of these words यहाँ पर लिखा है पुत्र, पशु और स्वर्ग. So progeny is in that sense saying that all your vyavarik practical things which you're supposed to achieve in this world, you are getting fulfilled by that. Cattle is a symbol of wealth, prosperity. Those who had more wealth, more cattle at that time would be considered to be wealthy and prosperous. Okay, so that is how those words have been used. And of course, Swarg is heaven. So people do not understand me as existing in every element of this universe, because they are following the craving pertaining to these three places, which is the cattle, the progeny, and the heaven. कि मेरे को ये भगवान मिल जाए या मेरे को स्वर्ग मिल जाए, उस प्रकार की मेरी इच्छाएं होती हैं, और मैं अपना डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, एबिलिटी टू डिस्क्रिमिनेट, विवेक अपना जो है मैं भूल जाता हूँ। इसलिए मैं जो है इस चीज को अपने मन में ध्यान नहीं रख पाता कि सब में ही मैं वासुदेव हूँ। ठीक है, ये यहाँ का ये इनका पर्पज है, बताने तात्पर्य है। ठीक है, आगे पढ़िए।
Such persons, due to their inborn nature, which is inspired by the accumulated impressions of previous lives.
Now just hold there. So what is he saying, that जो हम जब हम when we take birth, we have certain impressions, संस्कार। तो वो जो संस्कार हैं उनके अनुसार, ठीक है, तो हमें वो उन संस्कारों के अनुसार ये समझ में आता है कि हमें किस भगवान को पूजना है। यहाँ पर जो मैं भगवान बोल रहा हूँ वो डायटी, मतलब बेसिकली आइडल। जैसे हम कहें कि हमें जब हम पैदा हुए तो हमारे इष्ट देवता इज दैट देवता विच हैज बीन देयर एज पार्ट ऑफ अ फैमिली, इज हनुमान और गणेश, okay, or Durga, or any such name. Then, please read.
Remember and serve other deities, those which are other than me, the Vasudev form in the Atma.
Such persons, due to their inborn nature, which is inspired by their accumulated impressions of previous lives, remember and serve other deities. Okay, which is essentially saying that कि हम लोग मानते हैं कि केवल हनुमान है या केवल गणेश हैं या दुर्गा है, और बाकी हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि ये वासुदेव मैं ही हूँ। ठीक है, इस प्रकार से हम लोग भूल जाते हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ आवर impressions which we have carried forward from our previous lives, and we bring it forth in this particular life itself. So this is the reason why he is saying you don't tend to remember me. Okay, yeah.
They worship these deities supported by practices well known for them, meaning they depend on these deities.
So they will then worship these deities, and जो उनके अपनी प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, उनको कैसे पूजा करना है, उनके कैसे मंत्र पढ़ना है, कौन सा क्या चीज़ है, उसके अनुसार हम उनकी पूजा करते हैं, राइट। एंड देन वी डिपेंड ऑन दिस deities मीन्स दैट फिर हम उन पे विश्वास करते हैं कि वो हमें कुछ हमारे लिए कुछ करेंगे। ठीक है, लेट्स गो फॉरवर्ड।
Those devotees with desire offer or worship.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? Is there something subtle in this, in a message in terms of idol worship?
In a sense, yes.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
So what is he saying? He's saying don't worship these idols.
No.
No, he's not.
Just
saying
read the rest and we'll come back to it. We'll have a little discussion at that point. Let him finish 3-4 shlokas.
Those devotees with desire offer or worship with faith and devotion to particular gods in their divine form deity. I make steadfast the faith of that devotee in that chosen deity.
Okay, so here he is saying those devotees who have desires of various nature. Okay, मेरे को ये इच्छा है कि भगवान मेरे लिए या मेरे लिए सिद्धि विनायक मेरे को ये देंगे प्राप्ति, हनुमान जी मेरे लिए ये करेंगे, या दुर्गा माँ मेरे को इस प्रकार से मेरी रक्षा करेगी, इस प्रकार के विचार से वो फेथ एंड डिवोशन के साथ, श्रद्धा और भक्ति के साथ ये जो गॉड्स हैं और जिनकी मूर्ति हैं, जो डाइटीज हैं, बोल रहे हैं, I make steadfast the faith of that devotee in that chosen deity. तो मैं उनकी श्रद्धा को और भी दृढ़ करता हूँ. ठीक है.
Reinforced.
हाँ, आई रीइंफोर्स इट. जिसकी जो मान्यता है, जिस भगवान के प्रति मान्यता है, उसको मैं,
Reinforced करता हूँ.
ठीक है,
Strength.
स्ट्रेंथन करता हूँ. राइट. ओके.
Meaning, a person, due to the tendency of his own nature, desires to worship a particular deity in which he has faith. I stabilize the faith of that person.
ठीक है.
Yeah.
क्लियर.
Okay.
ओके. 722 now.
Possessed by the faith, made steadfast by me, he enthusiastically worships that deity. And he obtains the desired fruits from that worshipped deity. These fruits are decided by me, omniscient Ishwar, who is the knower of actions and outcomes.
Okay, we just hold it. So now he is said that all these deities, their faith, your faith in them, I am strengthening, making it stable, and therefore you are worshipping them with greater fervor, more enthusiastically, right? And since you are a person who has desires to be fulfilled by this deity, you will ask for those desires to be fulfilled, right? And he therefore obtains the desired fruits from these particular deities. You ask for something, and they will make sure that you get it. But he is saying here, the outcomes are decided by me, because he has said that in the earlier chapter. The outcomes in chapter 3 have been said that he decides, he knows what is the outcome which needs to be given as a consequence of a certain set of actions. Okay, so he fulfills those desires, and he is bringing that aspect back again. Since these fruits are decided by me, omniscient Ishwar, who is the knower of actions and outcomes. Okay, he is the knower of the outcomes. He decides कि इस कर्म, ये जो तुमने कर्म किया था, ये किस भाव से किया था, और इसका क्या तुम्हारे को मिलना चाहिए, किस इंटेंट से किया था, और उसका तुम्हें क्या मिलना चाहिए. ठीक है.
Since these fruits are ordained by the Supreme Ishwar, he surely gets them. Here, the beneficial nature of fruits is figurative, superficial, as outcomes from cravings do not do good to anyone.
We'll touch this last sentence a little later, but let's understand this. What he is saying, आपने किसी भी भगवान पे श्रद्धा रखी, भक्ति करी, किसी भी आइडल पे, किसी भी कोई भी चीज़ आपने, हमारे तो हजारों हैं इस प्रकार की मूर्तियां और इस प्रकार के भगवान, तो वो आपने किसी पे भी श्रद्धा करी, तो जो भी आप मांगेंगे वो आपका पूरा जरूर करूंगा, मगर करेगा कौन? मैं करूंगा. वो भगवान, वो वाला जो डायटी है, वो नहीं डिसाइड करता, मैं डिसाइड करता हूँ. ये समझने की चीज है.
So the deity is the agent.
करेक्ट. we'll keep coming back to it. और भी आगे जाके इसके अभी आएंगे थोड़े से एग्जांपल्स.
Let's park it for now. But what is coming out in several of these shlokas is that Vasudev is into action as well. Whether it's an action by decision, whether it's action by ordaining, whichever way,
Correct.
there is action.
Correct.
Vasudev is not away from action.
Correct. As Sagun Sakar, that Bhagwan is in action. Okay. And now he says that since these devotees have asked for something out of their own desire, the beneficial nature of the outcomes, जो last sentence है, the beneficial nature of the fruits is figurative, it is superficial. उसका benefit क्या है, मैं नहीं कह रहा कुछ भी. उसका तुम्हारे को फल जरूर मिलेगा, मगर उसका लाभ क्या होगा वो मैं नहीं कह रहा, खाली एक सुपरफिशियल है कि वो लाभ के आप सोचते हो लाभ है, पर वास्तव में लाभ है या नहीं है वो एक अलग बात है। मैं तुम्हारी इच्छा पूरी करूंगा, पर इच्छा पूर्ति से जो फल मिलता है उसका लाभ क्या है वो उसके बारे में बात नहीं करूँ, ठीक है, वो सुपरफिशियल।
These three shlokas, do they represent what we had read earlier in chapter 4, that in whatever way people approach
Correct.
Bhagwan resorts to them?
Absolutely. He says it categorically there, that in whichever way you come and worship me with whatever you have in your heart, in your mind, I fulfill that, whatever intentions you carry.
But in these, say, deities, somebody only thinks of Bhagwan or deity only, say, representing Bhagwan and sort of helps him or her in bhakti, does it?
Yeah, so that is what is coming up in the next few shlokas. Okay.
So I take it that it doesn't matter who you worship. You may worship the Kaaba stone, or you may worship the figure of Christ, or you worship a stone or anything. It is your Shraddha which matters, because He is in everything. So that's what He's saying. And then when you ask for small things like some wealth or some this thing, these are petty things, and they may not be good for you. You know, I may grant it,
Yeah.
but
That is not something which he is
Yes.
talking about. He says whether they're good, beneficial or no, I'm not saying anything. Okay. That's all.
But in 7.2, is he not saying that they should not be worshipping all these deities? They should be worshipping them whom? If you see 7.2, we say
22 or 21.
No, 7.20. He says
20.
they don't have the ability to discriminate, so they are worshipping these deities.
Correct.
So, in a way, he's saying they should not be worshipping these deities, although he helps them and he reinforces
Exactly.
their faith. Then they should be worshipping whom?
We'll come to all that.
Achha.
All that is.
So I think it's easier.
But Vasudev in what form?
No, let's finish this section. Let's finish this section and we'll come back.
Okay.
723.
Since these non-discriminating, aviveki, and persons with cravings pursue paths of destruction, the outcomes of actions performed by such persons of feeble understanding do not last or are perishable.
So those people who are अविवेकी, मतलब जिनको ज़्यादा समझ नहीं है, ज़्यादा भगवान के बारे में समझ नहीं है, अविवेकी means they are non-discriminating, the same word which has been used in 720 above. Okay, so they have a feeble understanding of कौन क्या है, भगवान कैसे है, क्या इनका सबका महत्वता है, ठीक है, तो वो अपनी क्रेविंग्स के अनुसार, अपनी डिजायर्स के अनुसार they ask for something from the gods and they will get the outcomes. These outcomes which they will get are also perishable. इतना ही बोल रहा है, मतलब वो विनाशी है. जो आउटकम्स, जो चीज मिलेगी आपको वो भी विनाशी है. मेरे को वेल्थ चाहिए वो भी विनाशी है, मेरे को फेम चाहिए वो भी विनाशी है, मेरे को और कुछ चाहिए, एग्जाम्स में अच्छा होना है वो भी विनाशी है. तो कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं मांगते जो कि अविनाशी है, जो कि नाश नहीं होती, क्योंकि इच्छा द्वारा जो भी चीज हम मांगते हैं, ज्यादातर जो कि लोग ना समझ हैं वो ऐसी ही चीज मांगते. इच्छा यदि हमारी होगी कि हम भगवान की से बुद्धि मांगे तो वो एक अलग बात होगी, या भगवान मांगे तो एक अलग बात होगी. वो एक विनाशी चीज नहीं है, और वो नासमझी से आपने नहीं मांगा, आपने जो है समझ से मांगा. नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेशन मतलब अविवेक, मतलब कि ना समझी. ठीक है.
तो नाशवान चीज से उसका रिजल्ट भी नाशवान ही होगा.
हाँ,
दिस इज व्हाट ही सेइंग.
हाँ, यदि आप नाशवान चीज मांगेंगे तो आपको नाशवान चीज मिलेगी, तो वो नाशवान ही है.
Those who worship the various deities attain those gods, and my devotees attain me.
So now he's saying that if you have great faith, Shraddha काफी भक्ति है दुर्गा माँ में, तो आपको दुर्गा माँ मिलेंगी, ठीक है, आपको हनुमान मिलेंगे, आपको सिद्धि विनायक मिलेगा, आपको जो है जो भगवान जिस मूर्ति में भी जिस प्रकार से भी है, बालाजी हैं, बालाजी की मूर्ति में मिलेगा, ठीक है, वो भगवान आपको मिलेगा, पर मैं नहीं मिलूंगा, क्योंकि जो मेरे को मेरी भक्ति करेगा उसको मैं मिलूंगा, ठीक है, जिसकी आप भक्ति करोगे वही चीज मिलेगी ना, यही कह रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं कह रहे, ठीक है। जो चीज भक्ति मतलब आप वर्शिप कर रहे हो, चाहा है उसके अंदर कि हमें ये भगवान मिले, हमें ये भगवान रखें, तो वो चीज हमें, वो भगवान हमें मिलेंगे, ठीक है, यहाँ पर ये कहा है।
Even though the effort is same in the two cases, they do not come to me alone and attain the eternal fruit.
Correct.
Is that really so?
Yeah. So
I
he,
mean, the effort.
so he says that the effort is same.
Yeah,
Okay.
hearing that.
And effort is same actually, because when you have that ekagra bhakti, okay, you are going to have that ekagra bhakti in Krishna Vasudev, or you are having it in Durga, or you are having it in Ganpati, or you are having it in Hanuman. I'm just taking examples of 3-4 examples. It's not as if I'm taking the examples of another 500,000 or 300,000 deities which we have, whatever that number is.
I think the sense at least I have got is in the journey to Vasudev, to use the differentiation. There's the small thing called TNC apply. At the end of this thing, terms and conditions. The approach and the devotion of the path to heaven have got various conditions which are different from if I'm going to Ma Durga or if I'm going to Balaji or I'm going to Siddhi Vinayak.
So we'll look at that also. It's right here. Let's finish this and we'll talk about that. Okay. So he says the effort is same in the two cases, but they do not come to me alone, and they therefore do not get the eternal fruit. Let's read.
The Lord expresses compassion in this manner for those worshipping the deities. Why do they not worship me?
अब ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं कि मेरे को क्यों नहीं, वो लोग सब मेरे को क्यों नहीं, मेरी पूजा क्यों नहीं करते, ठीक है, तो क्यों नहीं पूछते, वो हम आगे पढ़ते, ठीक है। हम लोग सब बाकी देवताओं को क्यों पूछते हैं, और कृष्ण जो कि वासुदेव रूप, जो कि आत्मा रूप बोल रहे हैं अपने आप को, उनको हम क्यों नहीं पूछते, ये कहा जा रहा है, ठीक है।
They do not know my imperishable, avinashi, ultimate, supreme, niratishay, nature, meaning they do not know me, the Paramatma. Even though I am the known eternal Ishwar of all, such ignorant and non-discriminating persons think that I was not manifested and so do not exist.
Correct. So this is a very major point. Okay, often enough we will see the murti of Durga, or we'll see Ganesh, or we will see Hanuman, and we will say ये मूर्ति है, ये भगवान है, इनके पीछे उनकी भावना है, तो हम इनको ही जो है इनकी पूजा करेंगे। और यहाँ पर ये अपने आप को कह रहे हैं कि मैं सब में हूँ, जो हमने देखा पूरे चैप्टर में, और उसके बावजूद जो है वो कहते हैं कि ये नहीं समझते कि मैं एक्चुअली मैनिफेस्टेड हूँ, रहा, हमेशा से था, इटर्नल, ओके, बट दे डोंट सी मी एंड देयरफॉर दे डोंट वर्शिप मी, ओके, राइट।
Such ignorant and non-discriminating persons think that I was not manifested and so do not exist and have become so only now. Because they do not understand my real nature, so they believe in this manner. What is the reason for their ignorance?
ठीक है, आगे समझते हैं। कि व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर देयर इग्नोरेंस। अभी तो ये समझ में आया, 2-3 चीजें बताई कि कई चीजें हम लोग जन्म से ही संस्कारों सहित उत्पन्न होते हैं, ठीक है। दूसरा, हम उनकी ट्रू नेचर जो है कि ये इटर्नल हैं, अविनाशी, इम्पेरिशेबल हैं, और उस तरह से यहाँ पर सुप्रीम निर्तिशय है, ये चीज़ हम उनकी समझ नहीं पाते। तो इसलिए, और सब चीज़ों का करने वाले वही हैं, सब जो भी हमें फल मिलते हैं वो भी उन्होंने बोला, वो भी करने वाले वही हैं। तो जब हमको ये चीज़ नहीं मालूम होती तो हम जो हमारे कुल अधिकारी, कुल देवता होते हैं, उनको ही हम फॉलो करते हैं। ऐसा होता है ना, कुल देवता, गाँवों का भी देवता होता है, शहरों के भी देवता होता है। गुड़गांव का भी एक है, गुड़गांव की भी एक देवती है।
देवी है शायद।
हाँ, देवी है।
शाकुंभी देवी या कुछ ऐसे है। हाँ, गुड़गांव की है देवी। लोग वर्शिप करने आते हैं।
हाँ, बहुत बड़ा मेला लगता है।
गुड़गांव में।
हाँ, गीता।
But whatever you know and have become so only now.
They have become aware that I am existing only now. I have come into existence only now. जैसे कथाएं होती है ना, कथाओं के अंदर हनुमान जी की एक कथा है, गणपति की कथा है, दुर्गा माँ की बहुत सारी कथा है, हमारी पुराणास में बहुत है, ठीक है। अब वहां पर विष्णु का मेंशन होगा मगर ब्रह्म का मेंशन नहीं होगा, या जो निर्गुण है उसका मेंशन नहीं होगा। कथाओं में निर्गुण का कहाँ मेंशन। यहाँ पर वासुदेव ये कह रहे हैं कि वासुदेव रूप में जो मैं आत्मा हूँ उसको तुम समझो सगुण की तरह और उसको मानो तो तुमको तुरंत निर्गुण भी मिलेगा। ये तात्पर्य है कहने का। जो चीज हमको बाकी भगवानों से मिलेगी कि हमको उनकी प्राप्ति होगी, उनके गुणों की प्राप्ति होगी। जैसे कहा जाता है कि यदि हमें हनुमान की हम सेवा करें तो हमें हनुमान की जो है शक्ति, उनकी बल, उनकी भक्ति जो राम के प्रति है वो हमको मिलती है। सारी रामचरितमानस में हनुमान जी का जो है इस प्रकार से उदाहरण दिया जाता है कि आप यदि भक्ति करें राम की रामचरितमानस में, तो यदि हनुमान जी की भक्ति करेंगे तो आप राम तक जरूर जाएंगे। ठीक कहा जाता है ना। तो इस प्रकार से जो है यहाँ पर इन्होंने समझाया है कि यदि आप कृष्ण की भक्ति करेंगे, जो यहाँ पर वो खुद कह रहे हैं कि मैं वही निर्गुण जो आत्मा है वही हूँ, only that I am in a manifested form. Okay, because otherwise you will say कि मैं किस चीज की भक्ति करूं। ठीक है, he is saying that they, where are we, 7:24. So they do not know that I have come into existence. I have always been there. They believe I have come into existence now because that is when you're talking about it. Okay. Right. Should we go to Philippians?
Yoga is the mix of the three gunas.
So here the word yoga, like union of three gunas, mixture of three gunas. Okay. And this union of three gunas is also Trigunatmika Maya. ठीक है? Maya is made of three gunas that we read earlier, and now it's being used here, but it will get expanded in chapter 14. Okay.
And that itself is Maya. This Yog Maya, the elusive power of Maya, veils me from all beings and makes me remain unrevealed. Meaning, I am only revealed to a few devotees. Hence, this deluded world, all beings do not know me, the unborn, immutable, supreme Paramatma.
ठीक है? Because I am being veiled by
Maya.
Maya.
So Maya is Bhagwan's
Own Shakti.
own Shakti, and the Shakti only
Yeah.
creates.
So the next sentence is actually saying that. Okay. Next sentence is saying that. Please.
This Yog Maya, which veils Paramatma from the world, is my own and hence cannot hide the knowledge of Gyan from me, the Ishwar. Just as the delusive power of the magician does not delude the magician.
Okay. Okay. Now he is giving you a straight insight that I am Atma itself. Okay. Because he is not getting deluded by the Maya. Because he, just as the magician is not deluded by his own magic, okay, he is not deluded by the Maya. He remains totally embedded in that Atma, in that Brahma, in that Nirgun Nirakar, okay, whilst the Maya is operating. And the Maya has veiled, this Paramatma from everybody. Now, please, sorry.
And I'm just saying that he has created the Maya and he's made things complicated for us. Nahin?
But we are he.
He has complicated it.
We have made it complicated for ourselves,
हाँ.
and therefore he has created the Jagat, which is helping us to reach him. Okay? Right?
No.
I'm putting it the other way
Not
around.
right.
It is
Because
true.
he has created the Maya, which is deluding us. So he's enjoying the khel.
You are being deluded by your cravings, okay, which is given in all places, okay. Your desires, which you are always looking forward to fulfill all the time.
If you say so.
No, it is so true.
No, because our first delusion is that we exist now.
But who has created that delusion? That way?
There's no second person only.
He's Maya.
Yeah, you've read that in chapter 13. So don't, we can go back to it also. Okay.
I know all beings who have been in the past, who are currently in present, and those who will be in future. But other than those devotees who have sought refuge in me, none other know me. They
So
do
I
not-
know everybody. I know because I am not part of that Maya. And those who are part of the Maya, only few are able to know me, see me. Okay? Yeah. Please go ahead.
They do not know my essence, and hence they do not worship me. What is it that stops, which deludes all beings born from knowing your essence?
Again asking a similar question.
Maya.
आगे भी और बताएंगे, कुछ डिटेल में बता ही रहे हैं, ठीक है ना. जो आप एक चीज पे यदि ट्रांसफर कर दिया आपने कि माया ही है जो कि हमें डिल्यूट कर रही है, तो अब आगे की बात बताएंगे. ठीक है. हाँ प्लीज.
The delusion in human beings is born from attachment and aversion.
ठीक है, रुक जाइए.
नहीं, ठीक है. Attachment and aversion. Who created that attachment and aversion?
Your desire,
Who created my desire? Go back.
your own karma.
Oh.
What she's trying to say is, who's the creator of this whole universe? How did
I
it
am.
not come into existence?
We have asked that question. We have answered that question in the past, but she's forgetting it. So now let's
Even
understand.
the karma which I have done is because of some innate tendencies given.
What are those innate tendencies?
उन्होंने जो बनाया है.
what are
Why
your-
do I choose the easier or the wrong path?
Because of your desire.
Desire भी तो मैंने प्लाट अपने में नहीं किया ना.
नहीं, इच्छा तो आपकी है, किसी और की इच्छा थोड़ी ना. मेरे में आपकी इच्छा है क्या?
उन्होंने मुझे बनाया है जिस तरह का.
देखिए,
हाँ.
आपको उन्होंने जो बनाया वो अच्छा एक, let's say 10,000, 1 million generations back. Okay, there was a certain purity in that. After that, you have followed your desires. People have our ancestors have followed their desires. And we have been here today with our own desires, looking
No,
at
my point is,
how to operate this world.
जो
Okay.
desire है वो भी कहाँ से आया? वो भी से
I understand what she's saying. She's actually questioning the whole start of the universe and how it's all been set up.
I'm also
Yeah.
trying to say the same thing.
Going back to the
Okay.
beginning.
First
he must have
understand.
created a perfect human being.
No, let's not
हाँ.
go down that route, because I've taken that route. You've not heard, because you've answered the question before I finished my question. Okay, so I am saying, let's go a different route. We are in this space. We understand cause and effect.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So you do something, there'll be an effect. Where is the cause of that effect? The ultimate cause of that effect? Go back, regress back. Which generation do you want to go into your own life and find out the cause?
The cause is because of that tendency
Which
he
has
I've been born with.
that was born with because of your previous life karmas.
So we keep on going back.
I'm using the same regression. I'm saying you are part of a millionth generation. So you go back to the millionth one.
So I'm saying the original creation must have been a perfect creation.
He is saying that in one way, but let's understand it properly. Okay, what he is saying is that there is a prakriti which I have created.
Uh-huh.
Right? We have seen it in chapter 16 or 14, let us say. Okay, gunas. Okay, we'll go to gunas. And in that he says there are three gunas which are active. These gunas are sattva, rajas, and tam. We have come into this existence where this prakriti is existing. Because you have forgotten yourself that you are that same Atma. Therefore, you have come into this existence. Now you will start performing actions. Okay, which are according to your past karmas and according to the nature of what you are seeing in the prakriti. Suppose you are in a place which is sattvic, you will have a tendency to perform a sattvic karma. Right? So in that sense, there will be interactions between various things which will happen. If you have sattvic food, you will have a thought process which is going to be sattvic. If you have certain types of disciplines, you will have a certain type of outcomes. All these are happening all in a sense, okay, together. And you are therefore an effect of that itself. Right? He is in his Nirgun Nirakar form is not touching anything. He says it categorically. He cannot. Nirgun means there is no gun, there is no quality. It cannot touch, it cannot feel, it is beyond being able to be seen. You can't think about it, the thought cannot permeate it, nothing can happen. Okay? Now, to facilitate your understanding that how do I transcend this entire space, he says, I am Vasudev, which is Atma. So please understand this now. No, you're not understanding. Now he says that I am in everything, which is good. I am not in your desires. He says that categorically. You decide. If he is saying that, believe it. Otherwise, follow that route of Nirgun, which has got no attribute. Then you can't reach anything if you don't understand it. Then you can't ask this question. Then you have to only follow the route of saying, this is Atma, this is non-Atma. You will develop a certain set of vairagya and shraddha. And through the process of thinking alone, you can transcend this space, which is a mark, which is a path, which is availability, which has got karma at its basis and jnana as its outcome. Right? Here we are going through the space of bhakti, where he is saying this is the way to go with an understanding that I am the manifestation of that nirgun and I am like this. So if you can see me in all these things like this, you can come to me. And I'll take you through to the Nirguna. You can't transfer any of our responsibilities or our karmas to anything, because there is only Nirgun at the end of it. He is only coming to help you, and you are saying उसी ने सब करा है तो मैं उसी पे सब छोड़ दूंगी और मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा, तो I don't know. Then you are walking down a path which is not going to give you a way to reach him.
I'm not sure that is what is being asked. I think there are two things here. One is what you referred to at the end, that by questioning the beginning, one is not wanting to follow the path that is being suggested
feel
here.
That he would
But
have created a perfect human being. Why would he create somebody with imperfections?
No, but Manju,
that
given
is a wrong starting
sorry, but the point is that why are we even thinking like that? It is what it is. This is the way it is in structure. We have to go according to the laws or whatever it is now. So just questioning why did he do this or why is not going to help us in any way.
No, it's
That's
not
what I mean.
helping.
Must be
But
some reason why you're asking why. What
Yeah.
is that reason?
What are you
There's a
trying to
reason why
get
you're
at?
asking why. Must be a reason why you're saying why.
Can we see something?
Just
We have
one
been
second.
given-
Let
can I
them
say
finish.
for something?
Yes.
We have been given a free will also
Yeah.
to do bad karma or good karma.
Correct.
So, as far as karma is concerned, so when we do a bad karma, it's out of our free will, and when we do a good karma, it's a
Free will
outcome
again.
of our free will.
Correct.
So, because of that, that cause and effect is there.
Correct.
So, like
Otherwise, you will never do good
Yeah.
karma.
ये तो
Why should you do good karma?
he's not doing bad karma through us, or he's not doing good karma.
You will
It's
say मैंने
our
सब
free
छोड़
will.
दिया,
No,
वो जो कर रहा है कर रहा है.
Why is it that somebody is born with an inclination not to lose his temper, for instance,
So that is because of prarabdha.
and the other one loses his temper and suffers for it?
That's right. So
But
because
who
of
has inserted that temper in that poor person?
prarabdha, his own actions, his own past
His
actions,
own past action.
But
tendencies.
She's going backward and saying, where did that product
The
come from?
original
Where
thing
is that
come from?
from?
The original thing is again emanating again and again from your desire. Suppose, let me explain. Okay, I want water just now. I don't get it. I have an option to get angry, or I have an option to say it is fine. Am I right? Simple thing. Anger will lead down the path of, and if that path is not getting addressed in this particular life, I'll carry it forward. That anger.
I'm just
One second,
interrupting you.
please. One second. That anger will get carried forward to next life.
आपने नहीं आंसर किया. Why is it that मुझ में anger है, which works to my detriment? माला बड़ी स्वीट टेम्पर्ड है, इसको गुस्सा आता ही नहीं है, तो ये तो इसको कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं होती लाइफ में. तो why is
Just
it
giving example.
that I am born with the anger, she is not born with the anger? Not
You
fair.
have to work on it now. If you're born with anger,
But whether you're born with it or not, how does it matter? That's
you
what
have
I'm
to work
saying.
on it now.
You still have it.
She doesn't have to work on it because she doesn't have it.
See,
No, it is-
I don't think.
it is what
One
it
second,
is.
Manjuji, one second. Manjuji, this question, we can. You can ask this outside this room. Please, 1 second, please. 1 second, everybody. Okay, all of them have understood this. You can again ask this question 10 times with all the 10 people who are in this room, outside of this room, because maybe you're not able to understand or we're not able to understand. Okay, so I'm leaving it at that. Because yes, you've tried this in the few sessions earlier also. I think everybody in this room has understood what we are saying. Okay, if we're not able to understand you, so be it. We'll try and figure it out outside the room. And if you can't understand us, then you figure it out. What else can I say?
We can leave ourselves with 3 words which you've given us through the text as pointers. One is Advait is this non-dual, there's no second. Second thought you left us with was Hiranya Garbha, the original desire. And third thought is Mahat. So these 3 words, Advait, Hiranya Garbha and Mahat, are clues to the beginning. One question, where did it start?
Yeah, so that is also existing. You can take it outside the room. We've gone through it. We've gone through it endlessly, because it is not that we're talking about it.
Going into it in circles,
So you need to sort of think about it and sort of meditate on it, and then ask again, maybe ask again. Out of these 10 people, some of them will do it. I'm sure.
We can discuss it after the class, Manju, if you want. I'm okay to discuss.
Because otherwise I'm unable to sort of stop my
The three
class
of
for
us can
this.
discuss it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Rahul, you saying something?
Yeah, I mean, I think I find myself in a similar boat.
So you try and figure this out through all the shlokas. Please read this Gita. You can read it now. Okay, you can even read Swami Parthasarthi's Gita, and you'll find your answers. Okay, because it's not as if they are not there. Whether you pick it up or you still have questions on it, you figure it out. I am not able to do more. If I can maybe make 8 or 10 people understand, out of 8 out of 10, I can make people understand, it's good enough. I don't think I can help more. I'm quite incapable, actually. Honestly.
सर इसलिए ये आचार्य शंकर की शुरू का बिगनिंग है, उसमें ये चीज है मेंशन।
हाँ
कि
सब
मैंने
है।
तो बिल्कुल प्योर वो बनाया था, धीरे धीरे वो पोल्यूट होता चला गया।
हाँ, वो सब बताया है।
उससे शुरू में है।
दो बार इन्होंने पढ़ा है, ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 बार नहीं पढ़ा।
इससे आप
Because we've done it here once and we've done it in the previous one also. So when I go back to that, then again there is some other question and she's not staying with it, so I can't answer. I can't help it.
ऐसा है कि अगर प्योर है और वो आत्मा है, तो उसमें इम्प्योरिटी तो आना नहीं चाहिए। जो 24 कैरेट है वो 24 कैरेट है, लेकिन अगर 24 कैरेट में हम उसको 22 ले आएंगे तो 2 कैरेट कहीं से तो आया है, और वो इनेबल किया गया है कहीं से।
So
और 24
So
कैरेट
you
तो
will-
अपने आप नहीं कर सकता।
So we'll find that answer, okay? Please leave this question with yourself, because I think every other pointer is telling you, giving you this answer, and you're missing it. Okay, so just watch for it. When it hits you, it'll hit you. That's all I can say. ठीक है? Okay, so we are at 7:27. The delusion in human beings is born from attachment and aversion. ठीक है? So any delusion which you have about the subject is born from, right? And they are opposites. Attachment and aversion are opposites. The opposites are instrumental in causing the delusion. ठीक है? जो भगवान ने 2nd चैप्टर में कहा, शीतोष्ण आदि, जो हमें ठंड लगती है उससे जो हमारे में भाव उत्पन्न होता है, और जो गर्मी लगती है उससे भाव उत्पन्न होता है, वो इस प्रकार का भाव होता है। क्या उससे अटैचमेंट होता है या उससे अवर्जन होता है? ठीक है? Just as hot and cold, totally opposite in nature, and pain and pleasure, and living within their causes. Okay, so pain and pleasure है, उसके क्या क्या causes हो सकते हैं? हाँ, बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं. There could be hundreds of things which are the cause of pain and pleasure. Right? कोई भी चीज हो सकती है. Hot and cold ही नहीं, कोई और भी चीज हो सकती है. Hot and cold तो एक example है. But hot and cold is similar to pain and pleasure in the sense that it is a opposite. It is a duality. This pain and pleasure, living within their causes, those attachments and aversions at various times become related to human beings. Okay? Because through your own ability to experience through your senses, they become related to human beings and are called by the name of dualities or opposites. Is it okay? So when attachment and aversion manifest, due to occurrence of pain and pleasure and their causes, are you staying with the sequence of the logic? Attachment and aversion is appearing out of pain and pleasure, and pain and pleasure is appearing out of their causes. They control the minds of human beings. These attachments and aversions are controlling the mind of the human being, which give rise to delusion, which hinders the rise of knowledge of the ultimate truth or the ultimate essence. So this mind takes you away because your own attachments or aversions or my own experience or some my past thought या किसी ने कुछ कहा या किसी ने कुछ करा, उसके कारण जो भी मेरे में धारणा बैठ गई है, वो धारणा जो है मैं उसके अनुसार जो है भ्रमित होता रहता हूँ और उस भ्रम के अंदर मैं अपने आप को घुमाता रहता हूँ और वो जो है मेरे को इस एसेंस, इस ट्रूथ से जो है दूर ले जाती है, छुपा के रखती है. ठीक है, ये समझने की बात है. ये यहाँ पर ही नहीं बोला, और भी जगह बोला, पर यहाँ पर और डिटेल में बताया है. ठीक है, should we read forward?
He whose intellect is caught in this duality of attachment and aversion, he is unable to obtain the correct understanding of external objects.
So, हमें जब हम लोग अपनी बुद्धि जो है, ये मेरे को अच्छा लगता है, मेरे को ये अच्छा नहीं लगता है, ये सही है, ये गलत है, इन चीज़ों में हम अपने बुद्धि को लगा देते हैं, तो हम जो बाहर की चीज़ें देखते हैं वही हम चीज़ें नहीं देख पाते, वही चीज़ें हम समझ नहीं पाते. ठीक है, आगे पढ़िए.
Needless to say that it will be harder for him to gain the knowledge of the inner self, Gyan, which has many blockages when his mind is deluded.
बाहर की चीज़ों में तो हम लोग भूल ही जाते हैं, क्योंकि हमें कोई चीज़ जो है अच्छी लगी, बुरी लगी, तो जो अच्छी लगी उसी को हम ध्यान देंगे, जो बुरी लगी उसको हम जो है ध्यान भी नहीं देंगे, समझने की भी कोशिश नहीं करेंगे. इसी तरह से यदि अंदर हमारे अंतःकरण में जो है इस तरह की बुद्धि जो है फंसी रहती है पेन और प्लेजर में या अटैचमेंट और अवर्जन के अंदर, तो वो बुद्धि भी जो है हमें अपनी चित्त शुद्धि के अंदर बाधक बन जाती है. ये कहने का तात्पर्य, बिकॉज चित्त शुद्धि जो है वो और भी कॉम्प्लेक्स चीज़ है. टू अंडरस्टैंड योर ओन इनर सेल्फ हैज़ गॉट a great amount of problems. You have many blockages. To get rid of those blockages, you have to really work hard. It's not so easy to say, well, it is a yellow color and I don't like it. Okay, just because it is yellow, but here you don't know inside yourself why. You have certain blockages. Okay, let's read forward.
Hence, hey Bharat, all beings deluded by that attachment, aversion, deluded by this duality, get caught in ignorance right from birth.
Okay. So, those are two things which sort of come to you as if at the time of your birth itself. मतलब शुरू के अंदर ही मेरे को दूध मिला नहीं मिला या मेरे को कुछ खाने को मिला नहीं मिला, तो मैं उसके पीछे रोऊंगा, हंसूंगा, वो हमारी एक नेचर बनी रहती है. Right? As a kid at 6 months, 12 months, 1 year, 2 years, the same thing is manifested right as we have grown up.
कैरी फॉरवर्ड करते हो तो हम.
हाँ, वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड क्या है वो अलग से समझाऊंगा आपको, समझने की चीज़ है उसमें. ठीक है, अब आगे पढ़ें.
Meaning to say that all beings born take birth only under the influence of delusion.
Okay, because firstly birth is taking place. Why?
Unfinished desire.
Yeah, which is by itself a part of the delusion. Okay, so you are born with this attachment and aversion because you are having an unfulfilled agenda to come into birth. Okay. So therefore you are caught up in this delusion constantly, every birth cycle after birth cycle. Okay.
For this reason, those with knowledge, blocked by inborn delusion, they fail to know me, the Paramatma. Hence, they do not worship me with their inner self.
तो अपने अंतःकरण से मेरी वो भक्ति पूजा नहीं करते क्योंकि वो मेरे को समझ ही नहीं पाते, क्योंकि उनमें जो ये डिल्यूजन है बचपन से या अपने अंतःकरण से, वो उसको निकाल नहीं पाते नॉलेज से. ये जो नॉलेज से यदि उस डिल्यूजन को वो काट सके तब तो जो है वो मेरे को समझने की कोशिश कर सकते हैं.
So, in the previous chapter, they said, na, control your desires, then control your mind, and then when your mind is at peace, then you go inwards. So, is
सब चीजें कनेक्टेड है, ये वही चीज कनेक्टेड है.
वही कनेक्टेड है. बेसिकली वही है कि जब तक माइंड वेवर कर रहा है, परेशान है, तो फिर आप
या किसी और चीजों में लगा हुआ है, या अपनी जो है इच्छाओं की पूर्ति में लगा हुआ है, बाकी तरफ ध्यान नहीं दे पा रहा है, तो वो फिर फंसा रहेगा इच्छा पूर्ति में ही, वो कुछ और कर नहीं सकता.
Vivek is the starting point.
Correct. So the first thing, of course, as we see with Vivek, is that this body is not the same as the Atma, which is the Atma. So Vivek is what? The distinction between that which is the Atma and that which is non-Atma. And we have read that Aparokshanubhuti, in which it has been very clearly given as to how. This aspect is really the one which is holding us back, and only through knowledge, only through persistent effort, जो कि हमने देखा 6th chapter के अंदर, अभ्यास, that we are able to overcome. Now, obviously, there are desires which are, let's say, for good things. What do you say? Good things means कल्याण में, जो कल्याणकारी है. तो उस तरह की डिजायर्स आपकी हैं, तो आप उससे जो है प्रगति, मतलब you are able to move towards realization of the ultimate. But if there are different other desires, then you are caught up because they are only pulling you one after another into, and you will carry it forward. There is nothing wrong in that sense. You may have some amount of fulfillments which will happen, but they will all remain in the perishable arena.
So far, whatever paths have been taught by Bhagwan, Karam, Yog, Dhyan, Bhakti. So moksha is only attained once there is realization of Nirgun, Bhagwan, or the liberation from worldly bondage which he talks about.
So Vasudev here says that once you realize me, I have taken you to the Nirgun itself. Okay.
So the yogi who is in Dhyan Yoga, that yogi should also sort of engage himself in bhakti with that mayasak that Madhya
exactly. So at the end of chapter 6, in the Dhyan Yoga, he says, Dhyan kiska karna hai? The chapter ends with that, right? So then it starts कि मेरे में करना है, मेरे से ही attachment होना है. Mayasakt is attachment with me only. Madashya is being dependent only on me. Then he is trying to define who is this me.
The as long as we have not realized him, there would be that dual.
Yes, exactly. There'll be the two-ness of the Paramatma in that sense and me.
But then he's also saying that to realize me, you have to, in a way, leave everything, right? Leave your wealth, leave your.
In bhakti,
मतलब सब कुछ आप छोड़ दो, right? क्योंकि कोई
In-
craving होनी नहीं चाहिए आपके
in
पास।
bhakti, it is not so that you have to leave everything. Okay.
Okay.
In karma, also he is not telling Arjun to leave everything. Okay. He is not telling him to walk away from the war. He is not telling him to stop actions. In bhakti also there is nobody telling you to stop. However, at a certain point, you will come to a stage where you will find that sannyas happening to you.
Yeah, because he's saying your mind, because that's what he's saying everywhere, कि आप cravings, mind को शांत करो, cravings को control करो. So essentially that means you have to leave everything.
This
बस
word,
वो छूट जाएगा. मेरा मतलब है, you have to not leave but by design, but वो छूट जाएगा आपका. Because
let's
whenever you
understand.
enter that state.
Let's understand. क्या छूटेगा?
Identification to be.
रुक जाओ.
ये सारी वर्ल्डली चीजें आपकी छूट जाएंगी.
मतलब क्या? आप क्या? You will not wear clothes. Let me ask some questions. No, you will not eat food.
You will, but
You will not take a walk.
only your basic needs.
Now we are coming to some
Only
point.
your
Okay.
basic needs.
So there will be some basic needs. Which, when will you come to your basic needs?
When your cravings go away.
When
Desires go away.
when you understand that this is not it. I have a body, yes. I have to look after it, yes. I have to eat food, yes. I have to relate to you, yes. I have to meet so and so, yes. I'm extending it one by one, okay? From just my body to just simple actions. And that is, how will you perform that? Arjun has to go and fight a war. How has he got to fight that war? I am not even going to a war. I'm saying, how do I relate to you? How do I talk to you? How do I meet somebody? How do I do something which has to be done at home? You're missing the point, because that's been done in Karma Yoga till chapter 5. Okay? He has said that don't get attached to the outcomes. He's just used one term, and he's gone and said that that is as good as sannyas. Now, when you say हमको सब कुछ छोड़ देंगे, आप इतना करोगे that I do not have attachment to the outcome, you will find that sannyas is happening without disturbing all the things which you have to work at in your normal life. You will never discover that there is sannyasi sitting in this room.
Like Raja Janak was having Nautch girls and whole kingdom.
Yeah, that's of course an example.
And still he was not.
But it is just that mind, that attention, where is it? Which is describing whether you are letting go or not letting go. It is not visibly available to you. हम सबको छोड़ देंगे, छूट जाएगा. नहीं. क्या छूटेगा? उसमें अटैचमेंट छूट जाएगा. वही संन्यास है.
Attachment छूट जाएगी.
But may I say, ये attachment धीरे धीरे अपने आप छूट जाता है. I think that is how I feel. कि अब धीरे धीरे I have everything, clothes and food and house and all that, but there's no attachment as such. So maybe it happens with time.
नहीं, that can be कि मेरे दांत ही नहीं है तो मैंने चिकन छोड़ दिया.
No, but I was not responding because
maybe, but you're right.
Like for me, I can say that भैया दांत.
Maybe it's like कि वो दुख में दुखी नहीं होना
नहीं,
और सुख में सुखी.
वो understand this. He has said it somewhere and maybe it will come again. That which is happening as a normal process in life is not something which you are leaving. Please, one second. He will say, I am not saying. Has your attitude changed or not? Is an important question.
Yes.
That is important. And it is not because of कि अब मेरी उम्र होगी इसलिए छूट रहा है. अब मैंने किया consciously, तब छूटे तब तो बात है.
Varn ashram dharma is what he says.
Correct.
That's the one's
Yeah.
stage of life.
So you need to get down to understanding, remembering those things. If you want to follow that, it's your call. I can't say too much more. Okay.
No, what I feel is that there's some part
I think
which makes
you should not.
at least.
I think you should not feel.
Huh.
Okay. I'll start with
the
that.
wrong word maybe.
I am saying that just follow what he's saying. Maybe you will find your answer.
I have found it. I'm finding it.
I don't know how to say anything.
And then what I'm not understanding is, I haven't understood what is bothering you.
It's not bothering me at all. I'm
Okay,
totally
we will
at
just
peace.
take our session over now and we will continue this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.